2025 is turning into a battlefield for SUVs. Some brands are rewriting the rules of performance, safety, and technology, while others are collapsing under the weight of recalls, failures, and broken promises. The contrast is shocking. On one side, futuristic machines that feel like a glimpse into tomorrow, and on the other, overpriced disasters that leave owners furious and betrayed. We dug through reports, owner reviews, crash tests, and market data to uncover the truth behind the most talked-about SUVs this year. 4 models have become symbols of disappointment, cars that look tempting in showrooms but hide a nightmare once you own them. At the same time, 5 stand out as triumphs, combining innovation with real-world dependability. And among them, one SUV is so extraordinary it could make you question your dream car entirely. Let's begin with the 4 worst you should avoid in 2025. Number 4. Volkswagen Taos. At first glance, the Volkswagen Taos looks like the kind of SUV you'd want to park in your driveway. Compact yet stylish, affordable on paper, and backed by a brand with German heritage, what could go wrong? Unfortunately, once owners live with it, the problems appear quickly and refuse to go away. Volkswagen positioned the Taos as a budget-friendly entry into the SUV market. But when repair bills stack up before the odometer even reaches 10,000 miles, budget-friendly becomes a cruel joke. The 2022 model alone suffered 6 official recalls, hitting critical systems like brakes, engines, and even seat heaters that could literally burn through upholstery. For many, these weren't small annoyances, but expensive, stressful repairs that no new car owner should face. Safety, the one area buyers hope to feel secure about, is another weak point. The Taos couldn't achieve the coveted 5-star rating from NHTSA, instead settling for 4. In a crowded market where rivals like Toyota and Mazda consistently score higher, that missing star makes a difference, especially for families. To make matters worse, earlier models were criticized for having headlights so dim the IIHS labeled them poor. For night driving, that's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Performance doesn't redeem it either. The 1.5-liter turbocharged engine with 178 horsepower sounds respectable, but turbo lag and uneven power delivery turn everyday driving into frustration. Highway merges and overtakes feel sluggish, undermining confidence. Even Volkswagen's warranty shows little reassurance. 4 years or 50,000 miles, barely half of what brands like Hyundai or Kia now offer. Considering the Taos's reputation for reliability issues, that limited coverage is a red flag. And then comes the financial blow: depreciation. Some Taos models have lost nearly 50% of their value in just 2 years. Imagine paying hard-earned money for an SUV that quickly becomes worth less than half its sticker price. That's not an investment, it's a regret. For 2025, Volkswagen hasn't fixed these core issues. Stylish looks can't mask the fact that the Taos is unreliable, unsafe, and financially draining. It's the kind of SUV that lures you in at the dealership, but leaves you stranded later, literally and figuratively. Number 3. Ford Escape or Kuga. The Ford Escape, known as the Kuga in Europe, has been a familiar name in the SUV market for years. But the 2025 version feels like a product stuck between eras, failing to deliver on its promises while competitors move forward. Reliability is the first major blow. The base 1.5-liter EcoBoost engine has long been plagued by problems, from overheating to fire risks, and recalls have piled up. In February 2025 alone, Ford recalled more than 20,000 vehicles worldwide due to defective hybrid battery modules. The defects were so severe that owners were warned not to fully charge their cars until a fix was available. For a modern SUV marketed as smart and efficient, this level of risk is unacceptable. Step inside and disappointment continues. With prices starting above 30,000 euros for mid-level trims, buyers expect at least a semi-premium experience. Instead, Ford filled the interior with cheap plastics, uninspired design, and lackluster finishes. Even higher trims fail to compete with the quality and elegance of rivals like the Mazda CX-5. For families spending this kind of money, the Escape simply doesn't deliver the comfort it promises. On the road, things aren't better. Ford tried to position the Escape as sporty, versatile, and fuel-efficient all at once, but in trying to be everything, it ends up excelling at nothing.
The suspension feels stiff over bumps, the steering is vague, and the overall ride is uninspiring. For 2025, the Escape remains a car that seems confused about its own identity, and consumers feel it.
Number 2. Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Mitsubishi hoped the Eclipse Cross would inject new life into its lineup, but instead it highlights everything wrong with the brand's shrinking presence in Europe. At first glance, the sharp lines and coupe-like design make it stand out. Unfortunately, the problems start as soon as you drive it. Under the hood sits a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine with 161 horsepower. On paper, it seems adequate. On the road, it feels sluggish, leaving drivers waiting for power that never arrives, especially when overtaking on highways. Fuel efficiency is equally disappointing. In real-world conditions, it guzzles 8.9 liters per 100 kilometers. Worse, Mitsubishi offers no hybrid or diesel alternative, an outdated approach in 2025. Ride quality is another disaster. The suspension is stiff, making every bump jarring, while body roll in corners is excessive. Instead of inspiring confidence, the SUV feels unsettled and clumsy. Inside, the story doesn't improve. Cheap plastics dominate the cabin, the infotainment system is outdated, and practicality suffers because of the sloping roofline, which eats into cargo space and rear visibility. Parking and reversing become daily frustrations. Depreciation is brutal. With Mitsubishi's European presence shrinking, resale values are collapsing. Owners can expect to lose nearly half the car's value in just 3 years. Add to that a string of owner complaints about electrical failures, glitchy infotainment, and malfunctioning safety systems. And the Eclipse Cross becomes a case study in how not to design a modern SUV. In short, both the Ford Escape and Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross pretend to offer practicality and value, but they deliver stress, poor reliability, and financial regret. Number 1. Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. If there's one SUV in 2025 that perfectly illustrates how hype can crash into harsh reality, it's the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. Priced at over €80,000, this plug-in hybrid promised to combine legendary Jeep ruggedness with modern hybrid efficiency. Instead, it became a nightmare for thousands of owners. The plug-in system itself is clunky. Switching between electric and gasoline power isn't smooth. It jolts and jerks, making the ride feel unrefined. The electric-only range, a disappointing 43 to 45 kilometers, is far behind rivals like the BMW X5 plug-in, which comfortably delivers over 100 kilometers. For a vehicle carrying such a hefty price tag, that short range feels like an insult. But the real disaster is safety. Jeep had to recall 35,000 units after reports of battery fires, some while charging, others while parked. Authorities instructed owners not to charge their vehicles at home and not to park them near buildings. For families who bought the 4xe as a premium, eco-friendly SUV, this was a terrifying betrayal. Few things destroy consumer trust faster than a car that might ignite in your driveway.
Top 5 Best SUVs 2025. Number 5. Kia EV9, the electric giant that redefines value. The 2025 Kia EV9 is not just another electric SUV, it's a statement that the future is here and it doesn't need to cost 6 figures. With a range of up to 541 kilometers, it wipes away the anxiety most drivers feel when switching to electric. Long road trips suddenly feel possible without constant planning around charging stations. And when charging is necessary, the EV9 proves its worth. A 350 kW DC fast charger takes the battery from 10% to 80% in just 25 minutes, rivaling the speed of Tesla superchargers. Performance is equally striking. The dual-motor all-wheel drive model packs 385 horsepower and accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 4.6 seconds. That's sports car speed hitting inside a family-friendly SUV. Kia even fitted an electronically controlled suspension that adjusts automatically to road conditions, so the ride remains calm and smooth, whether crossing potholes or gliding on highways. Inside, the EV9 mixes sustainability with luxury. Vegan leather, recycled plastics, and dual 12.3-inch screens create a cabin that feels premium without waste. Add in features like Highway Driving Assist 2 and Remote Smart Parking Assist, and the EV9 isn't just a car, it's a smart partner on the road. Priced at around €65,000, it undercuts competitors like the Tesla Model X or BMW iX while delivering nearly the same capability. Awards such as Edmunds' top-rated electric SUV and Cars.com's Best Electric Vehicle of 2025 confirm this isn't hype, it's the real deal. Number 4. Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, the trusted everyday hero. While flashy newcomers grab attention, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid continues quietly to dominate. Its 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine works in harmony with 3 electric motors, producing 219 horsepower, more than enough for daily life. But it's the fuel economy that truly wins hearts. Just 4.7 liters per 100 kilometers in real-world driving. The plug-in version goes even further, offering 68 kilometers of electric-only range. Toyota's electronic on-demand all-wheel drive provides stability in snow, mud, or uneven terrain. With trail mode, it handles rough conditions better than most competitors in its class. Inside, it's about smart practicality. 580 liters of cargo space, intuitive infotainment, wireless Apple CarPlay, and Toyota Safety Sense as standard, featuring adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and automatic emergency braking. Starting around €40,000, it's one of the most logical purchases for anyone who values reliability and efficiency over empty promises. Number 3. BMW X1 M35 xDrive, the compact powerhouse. BMW proves small doesn't mean boring with the X1 M35i. This compact SUV rockets from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.4 seconds thanks to its 312 horsepower engine. M-specific enhancements like quad exhausts, sport seats with illuminated logos, and adaptive suspension give it the performance edge of larger BMW models without the bulk. Inside, the cabin is sleek and modern, with the latest iDrive 9 system, a 10.7-inch touchscreen, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Ambient lighting and a panoramic sunroof add to the luxury. Fuel economy, surprisingly, stays decent at 6.9 liters per 100 kilometers. For eco-conscious buyers, a plug-in version stretches to 88 kilometers of pure electric driving. Starting around €52,000, the X1 M35i is a gateway into premium performance without reaching the price heights of the X3 or X5.
Number 2. Skoda Kodiaq, space and sense combined. Not every great SUV has to be flashy. The Skoda Kodiaq proves this with its unbeatable balance of space, value, and quality. Starting at just €37,000, it competes with SUVs nearly double the price. 7 seats come standard, and even with all of them in use, 340 liters of boot space remain. Fold the seats down, and that expands to over 2,150 liters, perfect for families, road trips, or heavy hauling. Engine choices are versatile. A 2.0-liter TDI diesel with excellent fuel economy, petrol variants that balance power and smoothness, and a plug-in hybrid capable of 60 kilometers electric-only range. Inside, Skoda embraces modern simplicity, a new infotainment system, ambient lighting, and sustainable materials. Adaptive suspension ensures comfort across city roads or mountain routes. Safety features, lane keep assist, emergency braking, adaptive cruise control are standard. The Kodiaq is the kind of SUV that makes luxury badges look like overpriced vanity. Number 1. Mercedes-Benz GLE, the benchmark of luxury SUVs. At the top of the list sits the 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLE, a masterclass in refinement. Starting at 75,000 euros, it's not cheap, but every euro shows in its execution. Buyers can choose from engines like the turbocharged 4-cylinder GLE 350, the silky 6-cylinder GLE 450 with 375 horsepower, or the plug-in hybrid 450e for those who want the best of both worlds. On the road, it feels effortless. Air suspension smooths out imperfections, while advanced driver aids, blind spot monitoring, lane assist, adaptive cruise control add layers of safety. Inside, it feels like a private lounge. Leather upholstery, chrome accents, Maybach-inspired detailing, and optional plush headrest pillows turn every ride into first-class travel. The MBUX infotainment system is a technological marvel, with AI-driven voice commands, augmented reality navigation, and even a fingerprint reader to personalize settings. Space is abundant. With optional third-row seating, the GLE transforms into a 7-seater, and folding everything flat opens up over 2,150 liters of cargo capacity. While the BMW X5 or Porsche Cayenne may feel sportier, the GLE delivers something rarer: balance. It does everything well, with no major compromises. For families, professionals, or anyone seeking a true all-arounder, the GLE is the SUV that defines what 2025 should feel like. The SUV market in 2025 is a story of extremes. On one end, we have vehicles like the Volkswagen Taos, Ford Escape, Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, and Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, cars that promised affordability, practicality, or innovation, but instead delivered stress, recalls, and financial disappointment. They remind us that glossy brochures and showroom shine can't hide deeper flaws. Reliability, safety, and value are what truly matter, and when those foundations crack, everything else collapses. On the other end, we see brilliance. Kia proved with the EV9 that electric doesn't have to mean compromise. Toyota reaffirmed its dominance in hybrid efficiency with the RAV4. BMW packed performance into a compact frame with the X1 M35. Skoda showed how practicality and affordability can beat luxury brands at their own game. And Mercedes-Benz with the GLE demonstrated what it means to set the standard for balance, comfort, and cutting-edge technology. So, if you're shopping for an SUV this year, don't be swayed by hype or tradition. Look at the evidence, the recalls, the depreciation, and the customer experiences. The best SUVs of 2025 prove that smart choices exist. Cars that won't just get you from point A to point B, but will do it safely, efficiently, and with pride. The worst, on the other hand, stand as warnings of what happens when automakers cut corners. In the end, the choice is yours: regret or reliability, failure or future.